Here we have Willem de Kooning's Woman 1. It's actually the one on the left is the piece you need to know. But you could see he's done a series of Woman 1. I have 5 of them up here. There's actually 6 in this series. So Willem de Kooning was, he immigrated to the United States from the Netherlands before World War I in the 1920s. He had been classically trained, but then he transitions to this abstract painting, and then he continues to return to the figures in this series. He is considered an abstract expressionist artist. He was part of the New York school that in the 1950s, and he was very much a part of the avant-garde that was happening in the United States. Painters in this style wanted to have an active approach, which represents that we can see the hand of the artist on any given work. What this means is you should be able to tell who the artist is just based on their active styles. We don't have any Jackson Pollock pieces, but he's the one who it looks like he's throwing paint. His one is different because there's no subject matter, and de Kooning clearly has a subject matter, but they're both are painting in the same almost way that they're just, you could tell who it is based on their style and their approach to painting. So unlike Pollock though, his paintings are carefully structured. They're controlled by careful underdrawings, and he also would, his strokes appear spontaneous, but they're actually a result of hours and hours of experimentation and failure. In fact, Willem de Kooning's wife said that he scraped the paint off the canvas of Woman 1 over and over again to start over. And so he was really trying to capture something specific in his painting. And so, so let's talk a little bit about the form. It looks like he's trying to show possibly maybe a great fertility goddess, like those he's seen in the statuettes from even prehistoric times, like I'm blanking on her name right now. I'll come back to her if I think of it. Anyway, those fertility goddess that have the picturesque statuettes, and then a lot of stereotypes that are taken from media and film. It's sort of a composite of that. And so this woman has large breasts, huge eyes, and teeth, and this may have been influenced from advertising at the time, which was big business in the 1950s and 60s. She also has kind of this blank stare and a frozen smile. And so this first piece, it took the artist 2 years to complete. And the artist's wife, as I said before, estimated he scraped and repainted this same canvas 200 times. The visible brush strokes and thickly painted pigment were typical of an action style painting. The image can be regarded as hostile, sexist, or sexual. It's full of implied violence and passion. Some people see it in a couple ways. They could see it as misogynistic, showing like the ugly side of women, or the sides that they want to exaggerate or be public with, or it could be a take on the pinup girl, which was kind of the rage during this time frame, where they would have a beautiful woman, girl next door in a magazine that men would pin up and stare at. So it could be one or the other, depending on how you see it. Venus of Willendorf was the one I was thinking of. I stamped your work with her piece, with what her piece looks like before throughout the school year. So, okay, so this is Woman 1. I've seen it in person. It is interesting to see it in person, and it definitely makes you take a couple views at it and really look at it and say, yeah, I don't know if I'd want this in my house, but it is definitely interesting to observe in person.